They hear the victim's complaints, and yes, she didn't come forward immediately. Not unusual. She did come forward. She told them what happened. They go interview him. They catch him in a lie, and they let him go. When they go back to issue the arrest warrant, he, quote, moved out. In other words, fled to Canada. Help me out, Irv. Why didn't they arrest him immediately?
Nancy, on the face of it, it would seem there was probable cause for the arrest just from the interview and from the victim statement. But the investigators chose to take his statement and continue the investigation, and he fled to Canada, which is not going to help him. The U.S. and Canadian authorities have a great working relationship, whether it's the Royal Canadian Mounted Police or the Vancouver Police, and there's an extradition treaty, a strong extradition treaty in place where we can extradite Canadian citizens. So he's not going to escape justice by any means.
We see in increments leading up to a full-blown sex attack, according to this victim. And, it starts off with the meet cute, okay? Then he comes over. Then he finds out she's alone. Then there's the truth or dare. Then there's the kissing. And then there's the grabbing by the shoulders. I mean, it leads up to a full-blown brutal rape. Very often in court, some jurisdictions have required corroboration, and I'm putting air quotes around that. In other words, bruises, tears, broken bones, ripped clothing. And a lot of courts didn't like that. A lot of prosecutors like me didn't like that, because as in this case, it was so incremental. You don't have a broken jaw or a black eye. It's like, you slowly turn up the temperature and the lobster doesn't even know it's dying, all right? It's too late. By the time it gets hot, it's boiled. So now in many jurisdictions, there is no longer that requirement of physical corroboration for a rape to corroborate a rape victim story. And think about it. No other, you say you got armed robbed? Does there have to be corroboration? No. When your car gets stolen, do you have to corroborate your story? No. Only in rape cases was that required. And it got to a point where prosecutors would use anything like, I don't know, the car mileage, the position of the seats in the car, the hem loose in the bottom of the skirt. I mean, you could use anything, a button being torn off, anything for corroboration, until most jurisdictions got rid of that requirement. But rape is still rape, whether you're beaten to a pulp or not.
Correct, Nancy. I mean, you look at the information that was filed, the particulars are pretty well outlined from the detective, the progression of his interview. And you're right, there is no evidence of an aggravated assault in the commission of this crime. And it shows that he lured her in and eased her as he progressed step by step.